My name is Maribel Rosas. I am 17 years old. I am a junior at Roosevelt High School. That night, November 8th, I was there with my mom sitting down. Like she was watching the election, and I was doing my homework. I was like, what if he does get elected? What's gonna happen next? My mom was worried. She was just like seeing the numbers, and she was scared.
President Trump announced an end to DACA that shields young undocumented immigrants from being deported. 6 months to untangle this knot. Lives ruined without a care or thought.
Unlike most 11-year-olds, consumed by video games and toys, Violetta's favorite hobby is writing poetry. She practices with a group of young poets known as Get Lit.
I usually write poetry that speaks about like what's happening right now, like politics, but like sometimes I like to do things that are happy and like outside of the politic world when I get sick of it.
But most of her poems are inspired by one specific moment. Her home in Los Angeles was raided by ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement.
They just let themselves in and they took my father, my stepfather, and it was just devastating. And I felt like I felt really angry that they did that, especially on my first week of school, because usually he's there for me and he takes me to school every day, and it was just hard not having him there. He was taken away early that morning, the hours as knives in my heart. No time left, we did not say goodbye. He was taken away early that morning, fed on tuna from our hard catch. No time left, we did not say goodbye. We sailed across the deep, sad sea.
Although a national immigration crackdown is already underway, many states are finding loopholes to still provide immigrants protection.
And in this sanctuary city, Los Angeles Union Station may be a sanctuary in transit. Officials say they may not enforce federal immigration laws if illegal immigrants are caught here.
Los Angeles County USC Medical Center was busy on the morning of November 14th. It was the day that dozens of physicians gathered on the front steps to rally in support of undocumented children receiving medical treatment. This event was inspired when the national news broke that undocumented 10-year-old Rosa Maria Hernandez was detained after being rushed to the hospital for emergency gallbladder surgery in Texas in October. The physicians held this rally to let the city of Los Angeles know that they won't let something like that happen under their watch.
In this current climate of fear and hate, know that you have allies here. Know that you have physicians and providers here that are willing to resist these inhumane immigration policies.
As of 2016, the Global Detention Project cites 59,170 detained unaccompanied minors in the United States. Dr. Rod and his colleagues at LAUSC Medical promise to offer a safe space for children and keep families together.
Deportation can look similar to life in prison. It's being removed from society permanently.
Luis Saha is a communications and digital media strategist for the California Immigrant Youth Justice Alliance, also known as CJA.
We work with folks who have been raided or mistreated or have their rights violated by Immigration and Customs Enforcement, which we call ICE.
When undocumented youth are detained by law enforcement, they go through the criminal system and then they face immigration proceedings.
Immigrants have to navigate both a racist criminal justice system and an immigrant justice system.
We call it crimigation, which is a criminal and immigration system coming together and creating a double punishment for undocumented folks, but specifically for youth.
Fabi Hakome is a deportation defense organizer at Orange County Immigrant Youth United in Santa Ana. When ICE gets involved, families are often separated, and young people are left to help support their families while a parent is deported, or they themselves are detained, in immigration centers with very poor conditions.
We have had of folks that have developed PTSD because of it, and so they have they can't look at police officers or anybody in uniform.
Advocacy groups like CJA and OCIYU work to create more awareness of the crimmigration problem and influence more sanctuary policy, like the Truth Act and the Trust Act, which increase transparency in law enforcement and ICE procedures.
We don't have an ally in the White House, but we do have people who say they're allies at the local level.
Paul Sok, who has dealt with the system firsthand since he was 17, is constantly involved with groups like the Youth Justice Coalition, which pushes for more schools and youth programs instead of prisons.
We've made it a little more accessible, and that's because of community power and people power. And so that's another thing I want to create to the youth, the undocumented youth, that there is power with our people, with our community. You know, we just have to use it.
Regardless of the anti-immigrant rhetoric in the White House, so many groups like OCIYU and CJA always emphasize the importance of community power.